from the left there. On this video, I'm going to show you how to drive so that you can pass your test first time. Let's go. So right now, I'm parked on the left of this road and I want to move out. So make sure you have your keys. First of all, I've seen people on their test who have left their keys with their instructor. So make sure you have your keys on you so that it's not going to take you long to start the car. So I've started the car now, and the next thing is to move on. So now it's just a matter of going into gear, getting my biting point, doing my checks. So starting from this mirror, then that mirror, and then over my right shoulder. There's no one around, so I'm not going to signal. And then I'll just keep checking my right side as I'm coming out, smoothly on the clutch, adding gas at the same time. And then now into second. So we've got this potential meeting situation here, so I'm just going to slow down a bit, checking my mirror first. So there wasn't much space here for both me and the car that was coming down the road there, so I want to slow down a bit just so I can control the situation and make it easier for myself. Going around this bend, making sure I stick to my side, checking down the road, and then once I get here I'm going to check my right mirror because I need to go a bit more in the middle because of these cars that are parked up on the left. Okay, keeping it at 20 around here because this is a 20-mile-an-hour road, and I'm going to take the next road on the right. So check my center mirror, check my right mirror, and then once I get close enough, I want to signal about 3 houses away. So mirror, mirror again, and then signal right from around here. Braking gently in second. I can see that car is quite far away, so I'm going to turn before him, check my right mirror beforehand, and then make sure I go to my side of the road and then make the turn. I don't want to cut the corner or turn the wrong side or turn on the wrong side of the road. That's not going to be ideal. I want to make sure I stick to my side, which is on the left. Okay, so we're approaching this car. This van's coming out, so I'm just going to slow down a bit. But he stopped to check my right mirror, and then I'll go around. So they stopped and I apologized. That's fine. If they carried on going, I was ready to stop. I already had my foot near the brake, and then I was going to stop. So be prepared for that. Here, I'm joining this dual carriageway, and it's a bit of a hill here. So I'm going to go into first, and I'm going to show you how to do the hill start without the handbrake. So biting point with the foot brake on, and then once I can see a gap, I'll come off the foot brake and then keep my foot at the biting point while I'm turning sharply, bringing my clutch up slightly, and then once I'm here now, add lots of gas into second, and then keeping an eye on these lights because they might change. So I'm just covering my brake, but then now when I'm here, I know it's not going to change, and even if it does change, I'm not going to stop. Okay, so this is a 40-mile-an-hour road, but I can see there's a bus in front of me. It's pulling over at a bus stop, so I'm checking my mirrors for my options. So I'm going to check my mirrors and signal. There is a car on my right, so I'm going to slow down a bit and go a bit to the right once it's gone past, and then I don't need to change lanes fully there. Just go a bit around the bus. You don't have to change lanes fully, just go a bit around the bus and then go back into your lane. There's no need to really fully change lanes, especially if the bus is just a little bit in your lane. So you're just trying to go around him and make sure you don't get too close as you're going past. So here, braking gently towards this traffic. I'm in third right now, so I'm just going to check my center mirror as well as I'm doing that. And let me go into first because everyone has already fully stopped. If people had started moving, I probably would have gone into second there, but everyone stopped and now they can move. And because I'm in first gear already, that was much easier to deal with. And then I can go into second. I'm taking the next left, so check my center mirror, left mirror, signal left from around here. And because it's a sharp turn, I'm going to start braking. The mistake people make here is because it's a fast road, they go into this turn fast as well. You don't have to. Once you've told people that you're turning, you can go slowly, and you want to go slowly for the turns. And here I just saw the sign there for 20 miles per hour, which is what you want to do whenever you're turning into a new road. Make sure you're checking to see what the speed limit for that new road is. If you're not good at checking speed limits, play a little game with yourself, which is saying the speed limit out loud every time you see it. So I saw one there, I would say 20. I saw one here, I would say 20 as well. If I see the next one, I'll say 20, and then if it changes to 30, I'll say that number as well. The more you play that kind of game, the easier it's going to be for you to identify speed limit signs. Okay, so making sure that I don't go above 20 miles per hour. And if you use too much gas in this kind of situation, it's very easy to go too fast. So you want to make sure that before you press any more gas, you're checking to see how fast you're going. Yeah, let's pull over on the left in a safe place. So mirror, mirror. I can see a safe place on there over there, and I'll signal left. The thing is, you don't want to signal before you've seen where you're going to stop. I mean, that's the mistake lots of learners make, is they'll signal first and then try to decide where they're stopping. But you actually want to see where you're stopping first, and then check your mirrors and signal. Handbrake on, neutral, cancel your signal, and then relax. So now the examiner would either tell you to do a parking exercise, or to drive on again, or to do independent driving. You get stopped quite a few times on your test, and that's the test that you can drive on again. And so you want to make sure that you do this properly. So now that they've told us to drive on again, I'll get my car into gear. I can see a car coming down through this mirror here, so I'm not going to do my checks fully yet because I know there's a car coming. But once I can see he's getting closer, I'll do my checks now, because once he's gone, I'll signal here because there are some people around. Then I can start coming out just slowly using my clutch control. You see, up and then down and then up, and then add a bit of gas now, because now the road is nice and open. I've got this lady on my right, but she's not crossing, so I don't need to stop for her. Nice and slowly through here. It's not the tightest with restriction, but you don't want to go flying through there either. And still 20 miles per hour. It's checking any signs as I'm approaching the end of the road, and I know I'm turning right, so they would have been told early where you're going to turn, so I'm going to turn right. So mirror, mirror, signal right. Position myself towards the right hand side. There's a sign there for 30. It was a bit hidden. That was a bit sneaky, that one. So you want to look out for those as well that are hidden by other signs. There is a car coming from the right hand side and from my left, but the one from my right is far away. So once this car's gone, hit my biting point, add a bit of gas, and then turn into my side of the road. If you're not sure whether you can go or not when there's cars coming, just think to yourself, if you're waiting there as a pedestrian, would you walk across the road? And if the answer is yes, then that usually tells you that you've got enough time to come out of that road. So here we've got a car, bearing in mind it's a 30, but I'm not going to do 30 miles per hour here because there's lots of stuff going on. And we also have a roundabout coming up. So I'm going to check my mirror and go slowly as I approach it, checking the right from early, but I can see it's nice and clear, so then I can carry on going. Yeah, just because it's 30 doesn't mean I need to do 30 straight away, but I can increase my speed now. There's a car on the left, but hopefully he's seen me. And don't be scared of cars that are coming from the side roads, unless obviously they go into the road. Most of the time they're going to see you, but if you're scared and you start slowing down or you start swerving out of the way, it's going to give the wrong impression. It's going to give them the wrong idea. We're going to turn left at this roundabout, so mirror, mirror, signal left. So I'm looking at that Tesla coming down the road. If he's got no signal on, I'll make my turn. So by now it's got no signal, so I'm guessing they're going straight, then I'll make my turn. But you want to keep an eye on them the whole time, just in case they decide to turn. But in the first place, if you see that they've got no signal on, just assume they're going straight. So here I'm going slowly, because it's a very, very tight road, even on the bend as well, especially on the bend because another car could be coming through. So whenever you're dealing with these kind of roads, always use your imagination. People that are new to driving, they don't think about what could happen enough. They always assume that everything's going to be okay. Think about another car coming around the corner that you haven't seen, coming down really fast, and be prepared for them. The more you do that, the easier it's going to be for you to drive. Okay, so just braking down this hill gently. Even though this is a faster road, or a 30-mile-an-hour road, I don't want to be doing 30 here. It's not going to be safe. Yeah, I'm doing just under 20 right now because of the kind of conditions I'm dealing with. Yeah, got another side road on the left there, so I'm just keeping an eye on it, not stopping, but just keeping an eye on it, and then looking on that side as well. I'm going to turn left at the end. Yeah, so be careful on these kind of junctions here where the road kind of merges into the other road. You need to be super careful that you've checked the side and then cancel your signal after you've turned. Make sure you don't come out of there without checking. So here I could go around this bus, but there's a van coming down the road and there's not going to be enough space. And then once he starts moving, I'll follow him. Yeah, it's very easy to just think about going around the bus because you see a little gap. Don't do it unless you're certain that you can do it without interrupting anybody, without getting anyone's way. So here, we're going straight at this roundabout, checking the right from early. It's looking good. And then another roundabout, checking the right again. And you notice I'm not super close to this bus. For some reason, learners love to stick behind really close to other vehicles that are in front of them. You don't have to do it like that. When they move, you can move a bit after. You don't need to stick with them like you're attached to them like a train. Give them space, and that way it allows you as well to have time to think and time to control the car properly. And I've noticed there's a temporary traffic light up there, which is why I've gone into neutral and I put my handbrake up. You don't have to do it like this if you don't want to. If you're not comfortable moving on again when the lights goes to green, just stay in gear, in first gear, with your handbrake down. But if you're comfortable to change gears quickly once the vehicles start moving, just leave it in neutral, handbrake on. This way you can rest your feet, especially if you've been driving for a while. You can now relax, but don't get too relaxed, because now when they start moving, you want to start preparing. So clutch down, into gear, biting point, handbrake down, and then move on. And you notice that I didn't rush to move on as well. Looking at the light coming up, it's still green, so I'm going to check my right mirror as I go around. There's a car on my right mirror there. It looked like it's trying to go around me, but I don't know what they were doing. So the road on the right is closed and we can't turn that way. There's signs telling us we can't turn that way as well, so I'm going to have to go left. So mirror, signal left. So I'm thinking it's controlled by lights here, so it shouldn't be coming down this way. There shouldn't be any cars coming down this way. And I can carry on. So I'm going to go straight on this roundabout. There is a bus blocking my view over there, so there shouldn't be anyone coming from the other side, and anyone on the left here should wait for me. Because it's a mini roundabout, I don't have to signal left to come off. People get confused there. On mini roundabouts, you don't signal to come off, you just come off without any signal. So here I'm going straight again at this roundabout, and I think the left lane's only for turning left. Yeah, it is. And then this one is for going straight. So I'm going to check my right from early, and these people on the left should wait for me. I'm going to signal here because it's a bit of a bigger roundabout. This person's already on the roundabout in the Mercedes, so I'm going to let them go in front, and then check for any more people trying to come off the same time as us, and then into second. Okay. Again, keeping a nice gap between me and the vehicle in front, not too close, so that I have time to react, I have time to think, I have time to slow down gradually if anything happens in front of me. Got another roundabout coming up, a mini roundabout. Checking anyone coming from down there who wants to turn, but there's no one. And so I'm going to go this way. It's a bit raised here, so I'm not going to go over it. And I can see there's lots of traffic here, slow moving traffic. So let me go into first. And here it's like slow moving traffic, stop start. So I'm not going to go into neutral too much. I'm going to keep it in first gear. And then once the car in front moves, get my biting point like that, and then down again. So now, right now my clutch is down, and then I'm braking gently, waiting for the cars to start moving again. And then when they do, get to the biting point, off the brake, add a bit of gas, and then clutch down again, because I can see everyone stopping. The mistake people make here is they clutch down way too late. In first gear, you want to clutch down quite early on so that your car doesn't struggle, especially at these low speeds. If my clutch is up now as I'm braking, it's going to struggle and it's going to stall eventually. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So right now I've moved on, and now the clutch is up because we're doing a nice decent pace now. I don't need the clutch anymore, but I will need it soon. And if I don't press it early enough, watch what's going to happen. Yeah. So I'm in first gear, remember, so I should be clutching first, but I'm going to go for the brake first. And eventually now the car's really struggling, it's fighting itself, and it's shaking loads, and then eventually it's going to stall. Okay, so to avoid that, you should really be using the clutch first. So like now when I'm coming up to this giveaway line, I'm in first already, so I use my clutch first, and then if I brake, the car's not going to struggle because the RPMs are not going to drop too low. Okay, so joining this road now, I'm going to look to my right. It looks like it's quite busy. Make eye contact with the people on the right. This person's letting us come through, I think. So the person behind this guy. So I'll just go in there like that. Make eye contact again. So don't underestimate the power of eye contact. It's super powerful. Yeah, so this guy's giving me the hand as well, telling me I can go. Once someone looks at you, it's really hard for them to say no. So do it that way. It's a bit hard at first. Some people get shy looking at people, but don't worry, it's not anything to be shy about. And the more you do it, the easier it gets as well. So here again, back into first. Making sure I stick to my lane, because this lane and that lane, they both go in the same direction. Keeping a nice distance between me and the car in front again, not following too close. Clutch down, braking really gently. And this kind of slow speeds, you don't need to brake hard. Yeah, you don't need to brake hard. Okay. And then now we're going to be turning left, first exit, so mirror, signal left. So because this light's probably going to change soon, I'm going to keep it in first gear with my brake on, so that when it does change, I'll be ready to move on pretty much straight away. You can go into neutral if you want to and put your handbrake on, but then that's going to take your time to get ready. You see there, the lorry moved off before I did, because I had to do extra steps to get the car moving. That's why it's much easier, especially if you're new, to keep it in first gear and without the handbrake being on. Okay, taking this left here, so mirror, signal left. Actually, no, let me go straight on. Let me cancel. Let me go straight on. Got vehicles coming from the left there. Looked like that bus wasn't going to stop. So I had my hand ready on the horn, but he stopped in the end. So we're going to take the next left. So mirror, signal. It's quite a sharp turn, so I'm going to brake gently. And then into second, check my mirror again on the left. And then now I'll go into first, because it's a slow car park, so I'm going to use first gear to do this. Very slowly. See a car reversing in front of me there. So let me just stop here for them to see what they're doing, because I don't want to get in their way. Looks like they're trying to turn into that parking space. Yeah, so now I can move. Whenever you see people maneuvering or just stopping in the middle of somewhere, don't get too close to them, because a lot of times they'll want to reverse, and if you're too close, you're gonna have to do extra work as well by reversing out of their way. So to avoid that, just make sure you give them plenty of room until you know what they're doing. Let's turn right down here. Nice and slow, and then left at the end. It's one of my learners. Lucas, shout out to you. I know you watch this channel as well, so that was you that was beeping me there. Alright, let's turn here. I can't see beyond this van. There's a van on my right here. I can't see. Now I can see, because it's out of the way. And then let's turn right here. Yeah, that was one of my learners who's now passed his test and he's driving. So it's really nice to see your learners driving around. So yeah, well done to you, Lucas. And if you watch this video, please leave us a comment, Lucas. Yeah, watch out for these pedestrian crossings as well in the car parks, because people will walk out and then just walk into the road from shops sometimes. So be wary that people will do that. It's like a bit of a traffic jam there, so once everyone's cleared out of the way, I can start moving. So here I'm looking for a parking space. Looks like it's quite busy here today, so I'm looking for a parking space on the left or the right. So in this kind of car park, when it's busy like this, if you get this on your test, they'll probably get you to do a reverse bay park if they're doing a maneuver in the car park. Sometimes they just maybe do a parallel park elsewhere, but in this kind of situation like this where it's really busy, you don't want to be doing a forward bay park here. It's better to do reverse bay park, because your car can move a lot better in reverse. So I can see a space on the left there. So I can check my mirrors and then move a bit towards this way. And then I'm going to reverse in. Yeah, make sure you're looking around, because that person was about to drive, or they were trying to drive forward, but they realized I was reversing. That's why you want to make sure you're checking everywhere before you start reversing. Checking all around. She apologized. It's fine. Looking everywhere. Don't just look in one spot. You notice I'm looking everywhere. And then once I can see these cars are lined up, I can stop. And even if these cars weren't there, I could check outside, and if the line was underneath my wing mirror, then I would know I've reversed back enough. Once I've done that, handbrake on, neutral, and then relax. And then here, if I was to drive on again, I'll drive on and do some more. But if this was the end of the test, the examiner will tell me, well done, you passed your test. And hopefully when you do your test, the examiner will say the same thing to you. So if you got your test coming up soon, all the best. Please let us know how you do. Or if you got your test coming up, let us know. You don't have to tell us the exact date, but let us know if you got your test coming up, so that we can wish you all the best. All right, otherwise, thanks for watching. If you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.